Hello everyone, my name is Sylvia Gorajek and this is another episode of Valley Talks. We're here at Runway Incubator and I'm very happy to welcome Priya Kuber, a founder of Fiddle, an intelligent shapewear that solves the problem of tracking body measurement. Hello Priya, it's such a pleasure to have you here on the show.
Hello Sylvia, I'm very happy to be here too.
So tell me about Fiddle, what it is and how does it actually track the body measurements?
So Fiddle, as you introduced, is an intelligent shapewear. What makes the device intelligent is its ability to track its own changes, and obviously it's smartphone connected. So between you going from a size 4 to size 6, there's a lot of ignorance, like you don't realize how much your body is changing. I mean, being women, we would know like different hormones in our body, different nutrition, makes us someday bloat, makes us someday feel thin. So Fiddle takes out the mystery from where your body is going to. So maybe when your body is changing, you can maybe avoid that extra, ice cream that, you generally would have. I mean, you can catch yourself without losing your entire life.
And that's clothing that you would wear?
Yes, it's like a long tube top, which you can zip it up. And it tells you your body's measurement for the day with your app. We wanted to make the process as simple as brushing your teeth. So just like you stand up on the scale, weighing scale every morning to just weigh yourself, you can just, hang it at the side, zip it up, and that's it. It's done for the day. It could be, there have been good reviews from pregnant mothers who have been trying to lose weight. In fact, my co-founder, and I went for a hackathon. She's a fashion entrepreneur. She was trying to lose weight after becoming a new mother. Like that's where we came up with the idea that we should design something like this.
So it measures the size.
Yes.
Does it say anything else or is it all about the size?
So currently it's about the size because we are a bootstrap company, and since we did not want to go the patent route, we are investing heavily in the material science research aspect of it, because I see so many like companies, in Kickstarter, okay, you have patents, you spend so much, but tomorrow some other companies, building something similar. So we went the Coca-Cola route. So no one knows what's there inside the Coca-Cola. It's sweet, but the Thumbs Up or other brands or Pepsi taste much different than what Coca-Cola tastes. So we want to keep it as an industry secret, the materials that we are putting in.
Currently, it's in a beta mode.
Yeah.
Are you already beta selling it, or are you just right now doing research on how to make it really work the best way?
So it's working. Okay, I'd say that it's working. I mean, we won the hackathon. That's a proof enough. It worked in front of, hundreds of women. Why women? Because it was an all-women hackathon. We wanted a, market validation, and we got a huge market validation there. So it works, but again, the design aspect of it. These days, customers are so much more educated. There's so much more options that design is the only way you can set your product apart the other products, because the underlying physics is the same. So we're researching more on the design aspects of it. Like I have a background with prototyping, and that's why I'm so thankful for, having a fashion entrepreneur, Laura, who says, okay, these wires should not be visible here. That's how she was like, hackathon. I was like, all wires, I love wires. Okay. She's like, what? Just hide these wires there. And I was like, okay, fine. Let me design it again. So there's always this heavy fashion, element on my head for an engineer. And that's where we are.
I want to talk about the hackathon for sure,
Yeah.
and about where you are now and what are your plans for the product. But if we could talk about the past a little bit. Your past. So you come from India.
Well, I went to school in India. It's been a year and a half that I moved here.
Oh, I see.
And I moved here for love. And because the person I loved, we were in long distance, like we started a relationship over Skype, and I wanted to build a company in India, and I was at the very center of the maker moment. I wanted to build a factory in India, and yes, I was way into the path. But he had a job here, and we were in long distance for enough longer time, and I felt that now the people I have trained in India, people like the whole maker community was blooming and blossoming, and I felt that yes, my work here is almost done, so probably I can listen to what my heart says.
So how did you meet your boyfriend and husband now?
Yes, boyfriend and husband. So we met in the nerdiest way possible in internet relay chat rooms, IRC. That's like it's just a nickname. You don't even know if it's a male or a female. And we talk about programming languages. We talk about what we are building, and we met through one of those forums, and we just found each other's work interesting. And I was contributing to Mailman as an open source project. He was contributing to Mozilla. So then, two geeks met, and we had a connection, and we decided that we'll not move to the same city till the time both our dreams are accomplished to a certain level.
And how did you learn engineering back in India?
Okay, so I didn't want to be an engineer right from when I was a child. It's just I loved building things, and I'm an empath. I feel people. So I was like, maybe what do I impact the people most in? And I thought maybe a doctor. I had biology and math in my high school. So happened that I realized that I couldn't cut things, okay, because to study advanced zoology and everything, you need to cut cadavers.
Yes.
I didn't know that I had the profession I wanted had a bar that I couldn't cross.
Yeah,
okay?
I can't see myself doing this either.
I couldn't do it. That was the thing. Other than helping people, so I was like, what else? So I grew up with a workshop at home. My father was a consultant engineer for years. So I thought, why not? I knew about all the components way before I started into engineering. So I was like, why don't I give my hobby a try? And
so it was influence of your father, actually.
It was influence of my father, but interestingly, my father would always be like, oh, you have to be perfect at math to get into engineering. That's like, you cannot do engineering, because I was not perfect at math. And
is it the general concept in India that you need to be
yes
100% good at math?
Yes, you have to be 100% good at math to excel. That's it, you cannot do it. And I don't know, if someone says you cannot do it, for something that I believe I can, I try to put my heart and soul into it and, do it for myself. And because I would say I was 60% at math and 90% in terms of creativity. So maybe I can learn the aspects of technology that will enable my creativity to create systems and to help people that, engineering is like a language that you express yourself with. One of the first products I designed was a program to record your own name and your own voice for 3 seconds. Because I saw so many talks, I'm from a suburb in India. My only outlet to the world was internet. I used to watch a lot of videos and talks. So every time there's a complex Indian name or a complex Swedish name, everyone would murder the name on the stage while trying to introduce the person. And it's a person speaking your name in the way that you want to be spoken is like music to the ears. So I added a button on the LinkedIn page where someone could record their own name in their own voice, and that won the first hackathon.
Wow.
And that was when I realized that, yes, if there's a problem and if we solve it, there is a market for it. And this was back in the year 2012.
But it was already in the United States, or?
I was in India.
In India?
This was in India. This hackathon too. LinkedIn US was having an all-women hackathon. That time, SlideShare had just acquired LinkedIn, and LinkedIn India was not having it. I tweeted to the CEO saying that we want a hackathon too. We are women too, who want to express ourselves in the form of technology. And luckily, I had a few good friends inside SlideShare office. They also took the initiative, and the office here said, okay, if you can get this many participants, it's fine. So we just reached out to all the network that, okay, there is a hackathon, come participate. And you wouldn't believe 100% of us had submitted completed products. That doesn't happen in hackathons. A lot of dropouts are there. You start building, then you want to sleep, But the kind of focus that the women showed, I think some 50, 55 of us were there. All of us showed the kind of dedication, and we delivered products there. And
wow.
That was the that was, you could say, gave me a confidence that yes, my decision to take engineering to express my creativity was right. Of course, I'm a hardware engineer. Like all these are just hackathons. They're like going to a movie, okay, for entertainment. But
what do you do with the products that you create during the
hackathons? Hackathons product, that's my day job involved teaching people how to build things using Arduino. Arduino is an open source hardware platform that you can prototype things. Like you have an idea that, oh, maybe my phone should talk to my fridge, or it should know when I'm getting back, so my car should start on its own. You can prototype all this using open source hardware. So open source hardware was a big thing for me from a suburb in India, because first of all, girls don't take electronics much in India. Even if they do, ultimately they are steered away to a software engineering job, because you don't have to go to the place to purchase, you don't have to interact with too many men. Mm-hmm. But whenever I enter the component market, it's all men around. It's like just like small dingy roads. I could like share some photographs from those times. Dingy roads, and then everyone's like buying components in bulk. So open hardware through internet taught me to build those boards by myself. I did not have to purchase my first board because I could not afford it. And I have bootstrapped all the way from my second year university till now. And earn from one place, invest in another place, try to build something, get some money, invest, reinvest. So a lot of experience with bootstrapping there. But open source hardware gave me the tool to build a lab, an intelligent lab, at the comfort of my home. That's why I established my first company at the age of 21, because many other women like me would also need components to start building, because unless you have the tools, what will you do only with ideas? So it was a very simple online store where I would write about the components, where I would source components and package them and sell all across India. So we were also distributors of Arduino. This was all back in New Delhi. I had moved out of my parents' home. Big deal for an Indian woman, by the way. And then it was doing very well, to a point that Arduino themselves gave me a job offer to establish their presence in India. And wonderful team, wonderful mentors. They are people who believe in you, and it was an open source community love. I learned how collaboration works. I learned that, you should not be scared to put your idea out there in fear that somebody would steal the idea. In fact, you get better feedback if you're putting your ideas out to the right people. And coming from an open source community background has a different approach to me as an entrepreneur now. Like, I believe in collaboration. I believe in openness. And I believe in mentoring and nurturing. That's why I love Silicon Valley, because here also, people are very helping for anyone who's working hard to, come up in life, and people are willing to support.
Good that you mentioned Silicon Valley, because I wanted to ask you, at what point in your career did you feel like it's the good moment to move here?
So before coming here, I was the CEO of Arduino's company in India. I had set up their company. I had, had an office, had a bunch of people, very passionate people, built a team, and and right now Arduino India is like manufacturing boards. They're sending all over the world now, the boards that we're manufacturing in India. So a major part of the dream of the little girl who played entrepreneur when she was little, like 6 or 7, I still have photographs. Like I was trying to discard everything. Last time I went back to India, I've taken pictures of those. Meeting with so-and-so, dispatch at this time. Like, I used to play entrepreneur. So a large part of the little girl's dream had been fulfilled. That's when I felt that, okay, there's this guy who has been patiently waiting on Skype for so many years, just to know me more. And he had proposed. I had said yes. I didn't know when.
But not for Skype.
No, that was an interesting story too. So went for work to Italy. Arduino's main office is there, and for a weekend we went to France, and he literally proposed to me on top of the Eiffel Tower.
And so that's where you met first time?
That's where we met the third time. Like, because in India he had visited me twice, but that too for 1 or 2 days. That was the first time we met for 7 days in a row. And he had proposed there, and a large part of the little girl's dream had gotten, and I was like, okay, maybe it's time to give him attention too.
Finally, right?
Finally. But even then I told him, even if I marry now, I need to be for a year in India to take care of the company and like to have a new CEO, like, to settle down everything, allocate charges. He was patient enough. Even after I was married, I was still living by myself in Bangalore, India, which is like really far from my home. So yeah, I'd say I'm restarting again. I've left whatever I've done, and this is my, you could say, second life, as a working person.
So how long ago did you move to San Francisco?
I moved around a year and few months, ago.
And Fiddle is your first
Fiddle is the first project here.
Yeah. So when you were moving here, did you already?
No,
it
was
right?
zero. I didn't know anyone.
So you didn't also have the Fiddle project in mind because you met your co-founder here.
Yes.
So first of all, you could move here. It was easier visa-wise because of your marriage.
Yes, it was. But even then, I just got lucky. H4 visa, for 20 years before me, there's a bill in the parliament that said that spouses of H1B cannot work. Okay, spouses of H1B who are equally qualified, equally educated, can equally pay taxes, and can equally create jobs in US were not able to work. And Obama, being so inclusive, passed that bill after I came here. So we were aware that such a bill exists, but I was not aware that if it will pass or not, because it hadn't passed for so many years. So then I got my EAD, that is the Employment Authorization Card. Once I got my EAD, I could start planning life again.
So let's make it clear, your husband is, what's his origin?
He's an Indian too.
Oh, okay. So he's on H1B.
He's on H1B. He got a job right after school, he came here. And then I could work, and just at a dress swap, one of the Silicon Valley founders,
Because you moved already right away here to San Francisco?
I had moved without a work permit. I didn't know what I would do, and I had spoken with my husband, and he said, okay, we'll figure it out. That's like, we're together, we'll figure it out. That's how we even today, we say we're together, we'll figure it out. And we came, and then at a dress swap, I met my co-founder for a very brief time. She said she's a fashion entrepreneur. I said, I'm an electronics engineer. What do you do? I'm like, I'm just still looking and still feeling out the Silicon Valley. So she went, okay, but I'm in the fashion industry, and she had just recently exited her company. She had sold her company to Stitch Fix. Her company was called La Da Da, and it was a fashion subscription model. So she was talking about how the return rates are high, and then I was like, if only we could see, if only we could see what size they are without asking them to figure out, because sometimes we think we are a size 6, but we are a size 4. Sometimes we are a size 4, but we think we are a size 6. As I said, different manufacturers, different sizes. Yeah. So that's where my engineering mind clicked. And I'm like, why? It's a simple case of a sensor. Why don't we just send them something that they can just wear and see? And we started thinking about, there are these companies that are coming app only, like you just take a photograph and it shows your bust size or something accordingly. Computer vision's reached that point, but again, we need someone to hold the camera in the right place. There is 3D scanning. Okay, that's the other alternate where you can take measurements. Again, someone, like, you need another person. But in the bathroom, at the comfort of my home, I don't want another person like pointing a camera at me when I'm morning, like all hair not done, So that's where we wanted to make it personal and just zip up with the tap in the phone. That's the interface we wanted. And iterated, and as I said, I was consulting. I was doing business strategy for a go-to-market business strategy for another startup. I was consulting there. So yeah, I diverted that money, again bootstrap, to setting up a lab. Because unlike software, for hardware you need a lot more on your table, because middle of the night you'd be missing that one resistor that just ran out. So you need a stock. You cannot you don't need it's more than just a laptop. you need much more than that. I set up the entire thing and took the entire thing to the hackathon. It was interesting. So I was spread out with all my electronics. She was on the opposite end with her, the designers have this the fitting bust, and then she had her sewing machine, and at the center was the Android developer with her computer. So it was like that kind of a setup this time at the hackathon. And we went with a plan and we executed it.
How long did it take you from meeting your co-founder to starting working on this together and then appearing at the hackathon?
Within a month, because the hackathon was coming.
Awesome turnaround.
Yeah, I told her that this hackathon, we were just thinking, she was like, yeah, we should probably market validate. I was like, yeah, I can design the technology, but for market validation, there's a hackathon coming up, let's go to a hackathon. None of the two people who participated with me had been to a hackathon before, so they didn't know what to expect. I said, that's okay. You should never know what to expect because sometimes you surprise yourself. And reminds me of a fight I had. I used to play taekwondo growing up back in India, like state and national level. So my coach would never tell me who I'm fighting. Okay, he would know, he would tell me that, he would train me the techniques, but he would never tell me who I'm fighting. Because if I know that, I already assume that the person knows more than me. So I literally defeated a national champion once without knowing when I was very junior. So that's why I prefer taking a fresh approach to a problem rather than, the fully researched one. So fresh approach and then fully researched works better for me than fully researched and then try to take a fresh approach.
And you won this hackathon.
Yes, we won this hackathon.
With Fiddle.
Yeah, we won Apple Watches, and I'm proud to say I gifted an Apple Watch to my husband. And
and he proudly accepted.
He proudly wears it. So it was nice. So prize distribution, I was wearing a yellow dress. He wore a yellow t-shirt while coming to pick me up. And I'm like, hey, you're wearing team colors. He's like, yes, I knew you were going to wear this yellow dress. Wow. And and I was like, how do you know I'd win? He's like, Priya, I heard the product, I know you, and yeah, I knew you'd deliver. So it's a kind of faith. I mean, people say that once you marry, life, goes off, or, you need to pay more attention to the other person. I'd say you start functioning as a team, okay? Just like in a hackathon, when you build a team and you work to a team's strength, just like that in a marriage, at least we both recognize each other's strength and we leverage each other's strength and work as a team. And that's where, I'm just lucky I found someone who reads things and knows when to give space, at the same time functioning as a team. And
what does your husband do?
He's a software engineer with Facebook. He does developer tools. So
okay, did you ever think of collaborating with your husband?
So that's a lesson I learned very early in life. When I was 21, naive, my first company, I found a great, enthusiastic co-founder. I was dating my co-founder. I can say that on camera today. So that had a lot of impact on the way, we felt about each other. And when I broke up, I lost the company. We were fighting for pieces, and there was a lot of back and forth. And I'd say
it was a fight.
Yes, I'd respect the people, and the fight is generally not because of you both, it's because of external factors. Okay, and I'd say it just gets, you lose a friend, lover, and a business, because for me a business is like a baby. As I said, I empathize with everything. I empathize with inanimate objects. So when I'm growing something like a baby, when you lose everything together, you just want to give it up. And giving up is not like the strongest, sweet. So very early in life, I understood that even if both of you are working, you both, I'd be happy bringing the other person on board with several degrees of separation, but not just the two people trying to make the decisions. Like if there's a different manager managing me, if there's a different manager managing the other person, it might work. But I'm glad that it was hard at that time. It was heartbreaking, at that time. And after that, I I had an offer from Arduino, I went and joined the mothership. But I'm glad life took me through that.
So thinking about Laura now, when you started, when you came up to this idea, how did the early, time of working on this look like? Did you jump into the project like crazy, or did you maybe sit down and talk about things like who does what and what is our agreement? How are we doing this? How did it happen?
So the thing with having a co-founder who has already exited a company is that she's been through everything, okay? And at that time, she was a new mother too. So there had been times when she's filling out some form, and I'm feeding the child, and then she's feeding the child, and I'm filling out my side of the things. And at the hackathon, I was surprised at the resilience of a mother. She came with a breast pump, okay, and she left enough milk at home, and she said, okay, these many hours I've left milk, this time I need to leave. So just before the presentation, she had to leave. She said, I'm here till now, okay, you have to take care of it from here on. I was like, okay. Then she carried all that milk and went back to her daughter, who wanted it. So I had a lot to learn from the way she approaches the problem. She said, idea is good, we need market validation. Over that, my experience from, a young, happy person who jumps into projects, I was like, let's participate in the hackathon. She's like, hey, I've never been to a hackathon. They'll all be tech geeks over there. I mean, if you look at me and Laura, like very different. Like I am this complete hardware geek, and she's absolutely a gorgeous person, who knows how to present, if she talks about Fiddle, she can market Fiddle to anyone, okay? And I'd like get into the technology side of it, which excites me. So it helped a lot with, she wanted market validation first. And once we got that, then we spoke to a lawyer, to see, because it was an invention, should be patented. Then we saw how much of, money is coming to invent. A less experienced person would be like, hey, let's go patent this. That's the first thing they're going to do. But we worked out the cost, and she was like, hey, it's like not worth it. And I'm like, what are the alternates? Then we spoke about trade secrets. You could synthesize your own material. You could make it a black box. You can not tell someone how you made it, and the product would work. And if there are more products like Fiddle, like if they come up, I'm glad, because that means the market is ready to accept. You should never be okay, it works for some people, but if you're the first people to do something, it's a lot more, hindrance in terms of getting financing or, something else, rather than a tried and tested idea.
Yeah,
or
like educating the market. Right?
Exactly. Educating the market is big social psychology chapter by itself. But it helped, like that kind of stability helps. And even today, we have meetings, we talk, and I just put down my papers to jump into it full time. But even then, Laura said that have a job, try to take it at the side. And what ended up happening is, morning I was working on this, and evening for a time, I'd spend on my project. I was overworking myself. And now enough market validation, like idea, it is in its place. I was like, okay, 6 months, like no loss. Take this time out, go ahead. And that's where it helps to have a co-founder like Laura.
So it was clear for both of you, like who does what and how you divide your,
yes,
the company and the shares and all that. So did you?
That's the company and shares is always like a tough talk, okay. But I know for sure that like we both understood what each of us brings to the table. Just because I invented it, I developed it, I would not say that, oh, it's my own invention. There was a problem statement that she said. I thought of a sensor, and it was a team collaboration. People generally dismiss the idea, like, oh, who came up with the idea? I'd say never underestimate that. I mean, the idea person has seen a problem, has been through a problem, and fine, no one has to know everything. Like, for example, I don't need to know fashion design. Once the product is there in the market, the look and feel, it's like her baby then. So I'd say it goes halfway. I do not dismiss the idea person. And we have that understanding between us. So,
are you already looking for investors?
Not right now, because too early investing.
So what are you waiting for?
Waiting for launch, like a bootstrap launch, a soft launch which shows how things are proceeding, how things are perceiving how people are perceiving our company. So the launch is just a few months away. Like that's why I took the whole time off, because probably you can work on your startup if you're a marketing person or if you're doing other aspects. But if you're doing development, I'd say from personal experience that jumping into it full time is the way to realize it. To market.
Did you already plan some funds, secure some funds for yourself?
So how like in fact I took 2 days on a mini midweek vacation to just went off to a cabin and like to write the whole business plan. So as I said, I treat every budget like a small business. So what's the burn rate? Right from how much I'm consuming to where I'm staying to what the rent is to everything. I have given myself a budget that till like from 0 to X amount, I will not force myself to earn the first dollar. But from 0 to first amount, like I have given myself a seed amount from whatever savings I had been making. So which is not to be all lavish, but it's good enough for a good home office with good hardware, with resources like tech shop and other places with access to 3D printers.
Yeah. For how long?
It's 6 months.
Okay.
I have a 6 months of runway, and beyond that, if the when the product starts walking, because if I didn't have that conviction, I would not have gone with all chips in. So it's bootstrap right now, and we'd be launching the app first, a soft launch with the app first. I can reveal that before the hardware. Because hardware is, you don't want to go too further in and decide that, oh my God, this is not what it wanted. People today are just used to taking their weight, and not a lot of people measure themselves very regularly. So to create a market, where people will measure themselves regularly and then launching the hardware.
Very smart.
Would be the best strategy. And that's why.
Yeah, because I can imagine women measuring their hips only.
Yeah.
And like every couple weeks.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then they realize too late that it's already happened.
Yeah, it's already happened. And once I'm this and I'm like, oh my God, now I need to work twice as hard to, get back into shape, because trust me, being in shape gave me confidence. I wouldn't speak for someone else.
Because you also had this issue, right, of gaining weight. And
yes.
weight
I was just snacking because of low sleep. Then sometimes I'd wake up late. I'd run to the meeting without spending time on my face, without spending time on what I'm wearing. Now, as I said, once I started practicing mindfulness, I stand in front of the mirror. Trust me, those 2 minutes set me up for success for the next 3 hours, rather than just rushing through everything. And
Priya, so what's the next goal for Fiddle? I understand it's the launch in 6 months.
Yeah.
And what is your even shorter term goal? Like, what are you working right now, and what do you want to accomplish within a couple of weeks?
So a couple of weeks, as I said, the app would be ready.
So you're working on the app yourself too?
Yes, I'm working on the app myself.
I see. So this is your current focus?
Yes, the app is my current focus, because the hardware works, and I know the next what help I need for the material science aspect of it. So right now I'm hand coding the app. That's like, as I said, I could outsource it, but they would not feel what I feel for the product. So yes, past few months, yes, I have taught myself to develop apps, and I felt that I could develop some test apps. So why not do something, like for my own company? And it'll be a soft launch for an app, and we would start feeling the market on why people are measuring themselves, and how often. And so the app would give a very good idea of all these things. And of course there'll be elements of gamification. Like, app is not just an app these days. You need the hook, you need people coming back, and like, of course there's a lot of research. It's fascinating. I'm really excited.
Priya, good luck with that. I'll be following what you're doing. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you,
It's been
Sylvia.
a great talk.
Yeah, it's an honor I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you.